Auric horn, mystery and theory. Part 1, Introduction to the horn. What is the Auric horn? Here you see a schematic Auric horn. Here you see some images of an actual Auric horn. Each one is carefully manufactured to the highest standards. The one you see in the pictures is a fetching shade of pink with notes of pearl metallic and a charming orange. Each one is unique, but at the same time they have a lot in common functionally. All Auric horns have very similar capacities with some power differences. In short, the horn senses and works with the most mysterious force, the energy field of humans, animals and other assorted types of being. What is the energy field? This is a very big question and one that I won't answer. It's a theoretical hot potato that will just inflame listeners. The short answer is it's just a big thing with a lot of power. Let's look at some functions of the Auric horn. As you can see listed here, some functions are listening to, amplifying of, agitating with, cogitating for, emoting towards your energy field and that of others. What, that is, does the Auric horn do? Be patient, very patient, and I'll let you know. The horn, the one you've seen illustrated and others, has several key functions as set out in this slide. That is, again, it can be used for listening, amplifying, agitated and cogitating, as well as participation of and in an emotional response. Let's look at these in more detail. You will see the various functions illustrated in colourful pictures. First, Auric horn can be used to listen to your energy and that of others. Press the little end to your ear or psychic inner ear and point the big business end to whatever you want to understand better. Then sit very still for some minutes. The exact number will be up to you and the mysterious circumstances of how things are, until things start to emerge. You are advised to write down your findings as they are liable to vanish and remain unavailable to memory and reflection. Be careful with the energies of others. If poisonous or manipulative, they might shoot you into your psyche and create a great big mess. Or, if more full of joy, you might become over-attached to the other to whom you listen. More of this in later episodes if I feel up to it. Auric matters do take it out of one. Moving on. Second, you can use the Auric horn to amplify your energy and that of others. In this case, you press your little end to the energy mode and the big end is waved in the general direction of where you want the energy to go. Like if you want to zone in on your belly area, which is your forceful self and action, point the little end there as demonstrated and wave the big end about. This will send yourself and desires into the world. Who knows what might come back. We will go into details of this and other functions in later videos. Again, exercise great care with this, like before, but even more so. Be careful what you amplify from yourself. You don't necessarily want your unsuitable lusts taking form and acting in the bigger world, nor do you want your tears spread all around your place of work. Be even more careful with the energy of others. I could, but I won't explain how problematic this could be. Handle with care. Third, you can use the horn to stir things up or agitate. 9 times out of 10 this won't be a good idea, so I won't dwell on this one. The only circumstance I can imagine in which those new to the horn might want to agitate with it is if they need to draw on a reserve of energy that isn't there, like busy mums and top executives faced with a heavy day after little sleep. And even then you are just stealing energy from somewhere else it's better employed, so watch out. I won't go on about this. Let's move on. Next, you could use the horn for improving cogitations. That is, using the horn will help you better understand it. But having said that, that's something you shouldn't really need to do at a beginner level, which you are, because I've only just invented this, and in that sense we're all beginners, except for myself, as I'm in a special condition and contain within me all knowledge of this horn, even the bits I don't yet know about. For other less special people, such as yourselves, don't fuss too much about the cognition. cogitation bit, activated by a special switch located at the back of the horn. It won't help your learning and in fact will make you worse. You have been warned. The final function we're going to deal with now, for there are also advanced functions we obviously don't want to look at here, is the emotional function. By using the horn from the part where the emotion is felt, pointing the little end at it, you can directly influence the emotional tone of your surroundings. Useful when you are feeling hard done by and want a bit of sympathy, though in time you will use more subtlety for the public and greater good. Also useful if you want a loved one to understand your point of view. This function is another case of be careful what you wish for, though. I will say no more. All in all, a very multifunctional, very useful horn and a great piece of kit. Looking now at some cautions of the Auric horn. As it says here, certified users only, caution in pointing, don't overuse the horn, don't neglect the horn, and neither should you use it for ill gains. Looking at these in a bit more detail. So far I've given you a bit of an idea of the powerful uses the horn can be put to. Of course, these informations are for beginners. The horn is capable of so much more than you can know and understand at the present moment. Suffice to say, you have been given information pertaining to your current needs. More might well follow if you have the strength and capacity to grow into the horn, or maybe not. Now, here are the cautions in more detail. Not an exhaustive list, proceed with care. First, the horn should be used by the certified only. It is not for wavings about by enthusiastic amateurs, no matter how inciting that might be. How do you obtain a certificate? Patience. I will hint at the process as this series of videos progresses. It demands a lot from your dedication and your financial resources, is all I'll say at the moment. Second, even for the certified, the horn should be used with care. Do not point, wave, bedevil or act carelessly with your horn. Make sure you and the horn are clean, fresh and scrumptious before each use. Place it back in its horn-locked box after each use. Do not use while intoxicated or when operating machinery, no matter how tempting. Third, do not overuse your horn. Overuse of your horn will wear you out and, more importantly, wear the horn out and make it both weak and misfunctioning. That's not what you want, trust me. What do I mean by overuse? Well, not allowing an adequate rest period of a few to several days between uses. Exercise horn hygiene and good practice. Fourth, never under any circumstances neglect your horn. It has needs and desires just as you do. What does it need and desire? Well, to a large extent that will depend on the individual horn. You need to get to know your horn and what it wants. I will give you an example, but don't run with it as it's just an example. My horn requires a daily dust down with a soft brush. It needs to be wrapped in soft cloth and prefers indigo coloured velvet. It doesn't like to be kept near other people. It functions best if allowed long rest periods in a dark cupboard. In hot weather it likes 20 minutes in the fridge to cool down. It has other needs which I won't bore you with. And finally, your horn should never be used for ill gains, e.g. you shouldn't use it to predict the lottery results, to steal things off other people, to do others down or to promote yourself and your own well-being over that of others. Well, that's just common sense, you don't need me to tell you that. How can I get an Auric horn? If you watch the rest of my series of videos, not yet finished and likely to increase in number considerably, you will get a better idea of how to get a horn for yourself. As I've hinted at above, this is a time-consuming procedure that's both demanding on your internal strength and resources and heavy on your wallet. It's neither cheap nor easy, but I feel ultimately rewarding. After all, you'll be left at the end of it with your own horn, and even better, the knowledge of how to make it work for you. Your own horn, should you obtain it, will be fully luscious, made by hand to the highest craft and industry standards, and individually finished in an appropriate colourway. It will be infused with a specially designed auric oil and filled full of a strong intention. A horn is available only from myself after process of initiation into language management, everyday care and advanced functionality of the horn, as well as solid theoretical grounding. You can start by watching the rest of this video series when I make them and at my constant whim. Here, listed, further videos in this series. You can read them for yourself. I'm not going to read out. You can read. When I do make them, these are likely to be the other episodes, or rather some of them might be. We will see. The list is self-explanatory, but in the established tradition of presentations, I am going to read them anyway, deviating from what is written in a potentially confusing way. That is, you are watching part 1, the introduction. It's nearly over actually. In the next one, I'm going to go into more details about the uses of the horn, digging deep into various aspects, vis-a-vis listening to the personal energy fields of oneself, the ebbs and flows of the energy there, and the various waves and tropics you might encounter. You will find out about your own patterns and potentials. After that, I will explain how to listen to others and to the outside world with your horn, with some tips for protection and keeping yourself clear and clean and generally free from harmful contamination. In a following episode, I will show you how to funnel your own energy outside. A useful tool like a shovel serves a gardener or a frying pan serves a chef, and how to focus that energy and not having it running around free like a willy-nilly cock-eyed dog. Then after that, in the next episode, I'll look at funneling outside energies for exterior purposes like making sure trains run on time, but not when you're late to catch one, where I'll show you how to hold them up a bit. In subsequent episodes, I'll cover other stuff I've not yet thought of, but which will probably include cautionary tales and how to get your own. I've no idea. The clear numbered list above looks like I have it all planned out, but by the time we get to number 4, 5 and 6, I don't really have a clue. My guess is a bit better than yours, but not much. And so we come to the end. That's it, the end. Until next time.